You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. I don't believe in the word procrastination. Like, I don't really believe in that word. I told a young lady in Australia who told me she was a procrastinator. I said, look, if I told you to meet me here tomorrow at 5 a.m. and I'm gonna give you $3 million, where would you be? She said, I'll be right there at 4:59, ready to get that $3 million. And I said, so then there's no such thing as procrastination. What it is it's not important to you, right? It's not meaningful to you. It's not something that's urgent to you. And when something is not urgent, you put it off. But if it's not meaningful to you, if it's not important to you, then you're not gonna make it a priority. So what you have to do is find out, how can you make it meaningful? How can you make it purposeful? How can you make it stick? And when you can find that out, I promise you, you'll get up early, you'll get there first, and you'll do whatever it takes to make that goal a reality. So for me, no such thing as procrastination. It's a such thing as it's not a priority to you.
There's a 5-second window between the instincts, the shoulds, the urges, the inner wisdom, the things that can change your life if you listen to it. Got a 5-second window from the moment you feel that instinct to move. And if you don't, your brain is actually designed to kill it. 5 seconds is all you have. The second you hesitate, and you feel yourself hesitating, that is a moment of huge power, because what's happened is you've just started to pull back from something that you need to lean into. And if you count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this is the neuroscience behind why this stupid little trick works, counting is an action. Counting backwards requires focus. It's also not a habit for you yet. So when you feel yourself hesitate, you're triggering your mind that something's up. Your mind now goes into a cognitive bias called the spotlight effect. It magnifies whatever it was that you hesitated doing. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I don't feel like it. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll do it later. And your mind is doing it because your mind's trying to protect you. Hesitation signals a red flag to your mind that something's up. Just that small hesitation. It's a habit that we all have. Should you hesitate if you're getting a tattoo? Yes. Should you hesitate if you're gambling? Yes. Should you hesitate if you are signing a legal document? Yes. You need your prefrontal cortex for those things. You need to interrupt it, make a decision. Should you hesitate on making a phone call? No. Should you hesitate on speaking up in a meeting? No. Should you hesitate when you feel yourself starting to procrastinate and you know you got work that you should get done? No, you shouldn't hesitate at all. Should you hesitate in saying the thing that you really feel in your heart? No, you shouldn't. Should you hesitate and edit yourself when you're talking? No, you shouldn't. But we've all trained ourselves to. So it's actually this habit of hesitating. You start catching yourself. It's a huge moment of power because you have a decision to make, and you got to make it in the next 5 seconds. Are you going to go on autopilot and get trapped in your mind? Or are you going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and awaken your prefrontal cortex and drive forward?
Everything matters. If you take any situation and just take the word only and take the word just out of it, it changes the whole phrase. It's just a game. It's a game. It's only a job. If you feel like this isn't only a job before this interview is up, I advise you to get up and leave right now. Because there's somebody else who'll fill this seat up and take that job and turn it into a career. Be careful of those words, trap words. I'm just going to smoke one cigarette. That shows you their preparation from a mental standpoint of how weak they really are. There's a lot of people that are just a something. There's very few people that are the something, okay? So when people introduce myself as a trainer, I'm like, no, I'm not a trainer, I'm the trainer. It's a huge difference.
So self-doubt, worry, procrastination, overthinking, analysis paralysis, fear, those are all thinking patterns that are habits. One of the most important things that I want people to understand is that you're actually not a worrier. You have a habit of worry. Big difference. You're not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating. Big difference. Every one of those behavior patterns and thinking patterns can actually be interrupted and replaced using science. You can use a simple trick. The moment you feel yourself hesitate, the moment you've got one of those moments where you know that you need to, this is that moment that Lewis talks to you about where you got to step outside of your comfort zone and you've got to lean into your passion and you've got to really take some risks and you got to feel the fear and you got to do it anyway. That's the moment where you just woke up and now you got a decision to make. Are you going to drift back into the habits, or are you going to awaken your prefrontal cortex and drive forward and focus and do something new? Do you feel like making that cold call? No, you don't. Do you feel like doing that third set of reps? No, you don't. Do you feel like having that hard conversation? No, you don't. Do you feel like ending this relationship, whether it's in business or in your life, that is sucking you dry? No, you don't. We make decisions based on our feelings, and that is robbing you of joy and opportunity. And it is blinding you from the fact that how you change your life is one 5-second decision at a time, one push at a time. And if you accept the fact that you may never feel ready, and you may never feel motivated, and you may never feel confident, you may never feel courageous, and that's okay, but you can still push yourself forward. What happens over time is, as you start to see yourself becoming the person that takes action, you start to see yourself becoming the kind of person that speaks even though your voice is shaking. You're the kind of person that has a bias toward moving instead of a bias toward thinking. Guess what happens? You build the skill of confidence and courage. It's working for people around the world. And, in the book, it took me 3 years to write it. It's all the science behind the rule. Yeah. It's got more than 150 social media posts in it. So you see stories from around the world of people using it to end procrastination, to build confidence, to deepen their relationships, to launch businesses.
My true feeling is this: no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, no matter the time in your life, if you have a dream and you have the drive, you can make anything happen.
When you're chasing your dream and when you're working hard, chasing something you love and
You develop the habit of never taking action. You get to develop the habit of procrastinating and holding back and so on.
Take action. So many people talk about doing something or say, what if? They don't actually get up and do it. Taking action is really, really important.
My advice is just to focus on each day. And you have a plan in place of how you want to improve and how you want to get better. And you stick to that plan and trust the fact that, every day that you stick to the plan will get you to your end result.
The key to being successful is to work harder than other people. Because everybody wants success. Everybody wants a Lamborghini. Everybody wants freedom. But what are you willing to do to get there?
So much of success is seeing yourself as victorious. You have to see yourself. You have to really believe in yourself. And sometimes it's hard. You've had failures, you've had weaknesses, you've had other things. You have to see yourself as a one-man band. Don't rely too much on other people because they'll let you down. You have to see yourself as victorious.
Anything and everything can be done if you can visualize it and if you believe in yourself.
To be a winner, you have to think like a winner. If you don't think like a winner, it's just never going to happen.
You're going to find the naysayers in every turn that you make. Don't listen. Just visualize your goal, know exactly where you want to go. Trust yourself. Get out there and work like hell. And break some of the rules and never, ever be afraid of failure.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great.
When you look at the
of two things, and that is,
to be great, I think you have to fight. And I very much think that my success is a product of some level of skill, but I do think I win because I outwork people. I really do believe that. I do believe that 100%.
I realized that information changes situations. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes. You can take all my money out the bank. It might hit me full. But if you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I have, I'm broke. The problem with most people is that you're not obsessed with improvement. Every day work harder on yourself than anything else. Because if you become more intelligent, more valuable, more skilled, you can add more value to other people. All you have to focus on in your life is find a way to add more value than anybody else does, and you'll never have to worry about anything. Be the person that does more for others, and life will just be anything you want out of it, really is what it is.
I'm here, all of my dreams and aspirations are here, and the only thing in between these two is a bunch of work. So tackling that work is a way of moving this needle.
So listen to me. There are those of you saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. That you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying. But those books are not in alignment with your values. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change.
Life is like this super temporary, mega fragile thing. You only get like a nugget of time to really pursue the things you care about.
We have to understand what we're good and bad at, and you have to let go of what you're bad at. You have to. If you're naturally bad at singing like I am, you shouldn't put your career and your life in a position to become a professional singer. It's a bad idea.
In life, you should only ever be doing one of two things, and that is figuring out what you're most passionate about, like finding your dreams in life. And then two, realizing those passions, realizing those dreams.
When you're not clear on what you want, like you get up whenever you feel like it, you don't have no drive, you don't have no passion, and so when people ask me, where your passion come from? Where your drive come from? I know what I want. I'm talking about knowing what you want, because when you know what you want, that's where the drive comes from. That's where the passion comes from.
Keep yourself extremely busy. As long as you're doing something, you will find your path. It's when you get lazy that everything becomes skewed, everything becomes gray or foggy.
Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything.
I think life is substantiated by whatever impact or whatever contribution you can make while you're alive. The finish line's the same for everyone. We're all ending up in the same place, but while we're here, what contribution can you make? Life shrinks and life expands in direct proportion to your willingness to assume risk. The most dangerous thing you can do in your career, the most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe.
If you want to affect the world, you have to change yourself first. Everybody tries to go out and change the world by changing other people and other things. But the real way to do it is by changing yourself. And sometimes making those really uncomfortable choices to go up against everyone in your life that you look up to and take that risk.
When I visit students, I also tell them that the greatest risk they take is not taking one, which, by the way, Miss Martinez taught me that. And I use it to this day. Anytime I feel that I feel nervous, like I feel right now, I take the risk. And for all the students, for all the teachers, and for all the educators here, we have to take risk. If we don't take that risk, I go back to it. It's the biggest risk that we take.
It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it.
Everybody has time. Stop watching fucking Lost. If you want this, if you want bling bling, if you want to buy the jets, if you want to do work.